Following your excitement is a concept that I'm very much obsessed about currently, and it actually stems from Steve Jobs' commencement speech when he's talking about following your gut or following your intuition. And it is also an idea that I originally actually found from Dan Coe. And he talks about in his book, The Art of Focus, how important it is to follow your curiosity or follow your passion, or what he calls it, follow your excitement. And if you do that, you will end up doing the thing that you love doing the most as work. And his idea actually came from Naval Ravikant, who is an investor who made a tweet about how to get rich. And there's an author who made a book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. And in that book, he talks about this tweet that he had. And in that tweet, he talks about following your curiosity. Now, I could talk about your curiosity for days, since it's such an interesting topic. Like, why am I curious about something and you are curious about something else, and where do we end up if we just keep following this curiosity? But I want to keep talking about this idea, following your excitement, and how I kind of use it in my life, because I think it's a very great idea, and I want to make a short film about following your curiosity or following your excitement, because I think it's, or like Steve Jobs talking about following your intuition. Like, if Steve Jobs, Naval Ravikant, and Dan Coe are talking about following your your excitement, then there's got to be something about it, right? And how I see it in my life is, I actually saw an Instagram post before this video. I was at a movie premiere this weekend, and it was actually probably the most fun, or at least one of the most fun weekends I've had of this year. And during the movie premiere, I realized a lot of like what it is that I want to do. And this is the thing, right? What does it mean to follow your excitement? And I think that first of all, I have an idea, or I have a belief that I think the universe is actually trying to point you towards your excitement. Like, I think the universe is things just happen without there actually being kind of an explanation of for it. Who happens, I believe, because it points you towards where you're supposed to go. And in this case, I was invited to this movie premiere by a friend of mine, and it was very it's very there's so many things that had to happen for me to get this invite and then therefore go to this movie premiere. There's so many things that has to kind of like fall into place. It's very, like, the likelihood is very low, basically, and it happened. And I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe things happen. I believe things happen for a reason. Not all the times, but sometimes, and especially those times when you feel like there's something to this. And I went to this movie premiere, and I loved it. And I've actually taken a break in making short films, like a 2 month break, and I kind of found my drive again to continue making movies, and it's more than ever. And I'm actually really trying to. I've actually already uploaded an advertisement on Stagepool. I'm looking for actors to record my third short film, and it's going to be uploaded to YouTube. So it's not going to be invited or it's not going to compete in festivals. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube, and I'm going to try to do a lot of these shorts on YouTube to get feedback and get better at the craft of making a short film. Basically following the path that Curry Barker did before he made Obsession. And this movie premiere, I got an invite, and I went there, and it was amazing. And this is kind of what I mean by following your excitement. Now I'm back at it's a normal work week. I'm back working, and I'm still thinking about this weekend. Now, I've already taken the action of actually making this third short film, which I think it might be called Presence. And it's so interesting to first of all see how these, like, and also another thing that Steve Jobs talked about in his commencement speech is connect the dots looking backward. When I sit here now, the movie premiere is over, and I connect the dots looking backward. Like, how did I end up being in this movie premiere? It's once again, there's so many things that happened that I could not see leading up to this movie event. And this is like an event that happened in my life. Look, so take a look at your life and see what events has happened in your life where you kind of like you cannot stop thinking about it, or you feel this kind of pull towards this. For me, is making movies, right? To go on more movie premieres, basically. And it's it's exactly this, I think, is the meaning of following your excitement. Things are gonna happen in your life, and or basically opportunities are gonna come knocking at your door. Because once again, I got an invite. I could have declined it. The comfortable thing would have been to decline it, but I accepted it. So basically, when opportunity came knocking on my door, I opened the door and I let opportunity in. And now, with this in mind, I have an experience. So the video I made before this is about I can only really know what I want to do with experience. And I had this experience this weekend, and this experience has once again confirmed to me that I want to make movies. I want to continue making movies, and I want to not give up. I want to keep on making movies until I become a good movie maker. And this is what I think is the meaning behind following your excitement. An opportunity is going to come knocking at your door. And that opportunity or that experience is kind of showing you in real time what it is you really want to do. And if I hadn't gone, so I can tell you this, the inverse. If I hadn't gone to the movie premiere, I would not be thinking, or I wouldn't even take action into making my third short film. I would not be excited. That's kind of the theme here. I wouldn't be excited to continue making short films. I would be kind of still stuck working at my business. Now, I went to that event and I had this experience, and that experience has made me more excited than ever to keep making short films. Now, you can call it whatever you want, but I call this that what happened for a reason, this movie premiere, and I went there for a reason. And to ignite this a dream of mine, which is a very deep held dream of mine, of making short films or making films. And this is exactly how I believe following your excitement works like. And me telling you this probably doesn't excite you, but it excites me, because making movies and what that entails, making movies and meeting people, meeting a lot of people and making important movies makes me very excited. And I'm going to continue following down that path. So now I'm going to make this short film, and who knows what happens after that. I'm probably going to make another short film after that. But this following excitement has basically been, I went to a movie premiere, and that ignited a deeper experience, or I mean a deeper excitement of wanting to continue making movies after a 2-month break. And it's also actually changed my plan. And now I haven't seen the movie Obsession. This is another example. I haven't seen the movie Obsession. I've just seen clips of the movie. But I know that after I watch that movie, I'm gonna be. I don't want to call it my 2001: A Space Odyssey moment, or my Star Wars 1977 moment. What I mean by that is, when 2001: A Space Odyssey was released by Stanley Kubrick, and when George Lucas' Star Wars was released, it inspired. There's so many people. We're talking the guy behind Michael Bay, the guy who made Transformers. We're talking Steven Spielberg. We're talking Christopher Nolan. We're talking Ridley Scott. I think you have to go do research yourself. But if you search around, which movie creators, and James Cameron, which movie creators were inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey and George Lucas' Star Wars, you will see that there is a very big, those are the biggest directors of today, started their journey after seeing that movie. Which is basically the most of the directors were inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like no other movie of all movies ever released in the history of movies or cinema has influenced as many directors and people who make movies like 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I don't want, maybe Obsession is my 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know yet. I haven't had the experience, but I believe from just watching the movie, and I've been very much excited about Kerry Barker, his journey, and there's so many. And like just like a month ago, I didn't know who Kerry Barker was. I didn't know what his obsession was, and now once again I'm following this excitement. Now I'm gonna see the movie when it's released in digital, and I think that that's gonna make me even more excited to kind of do what he did, which was basically not wait around, not um, depend on film festivals, rather focus on perfecting your craft of making good movies by making a lot of movies. And it's such a simple idea, and people will just keep saying it over and over again. Steven Spielberg said to one director, I think the director who made The Girl Next Door, keep making movies. And Mr. Beast says if you want to succeed on YouTube, just make more YouTube videos. And Kurt Barker is basically saying if you want to direct movies, direct more movies. It's the same idea of like if you want to make good movies, you have to practice a lot. You have to make a lot of movies. And the best way in 2026 to do that is to upload YouTube videos. I genuinely believe that in like 10 years, 20 years, who knows, let's say 10 years, or in 7 years, I think it's a good, like in 7 years I think we will see a lot of new directors that are posting their movies. So in 2033, I think that movie year we're gonna have a lot of Curry Barkers. We're gonna have a lot of young directors in their 20s who are making movies that are all in the theater because of Obsession, because of Curry Barker. He is kind of the new this is a big, bold statement, but I genuinely think that he is kind of the new Stanley Kubrick in terms of influence the movie Obsession is going to have on new movie directors. And once again, the event that would have happened for me, I haven't even watched the film, and I'm still feeling this excitement, is I would have gone to the movie theater and I would have seen, okay, what movies are up now? Okay, it's Obsession, and I would have seen it, and then after I saw Obsession, I would have gotten this extreme excitement, which would have led me on the path that I am, most likely, because the path that I've been on recently is studying Curry Barker, standing on the shoulders of Curry Barker, and that is following your excitement in real time, or following your curiosity. And for you, it's going to be different. You have to find what your curiosity is about. But my curiosity has recently been a lot about Obsession. And the funny thing is, in the movie premiere I was at this weekend, I talked to both directors, and I talked to them about Curry Barker, and they had seen Obsession. So this is like what I'm telling you. It's these people, they're already influencing young movie directors, and they loved it. And he's kind of the new Bannister effect. Like he's showing what is possible. The idea that you can make short films on YouTube and you make the biggest movie in the entire world is so big that we cannot. I don't even think Kerr Barker grasps it. But it's just possibilities it's just opportunities basically, rather for creators. And this is exactly what Steve Jobs wanted to do with his products. It's exactly what Steve Jobs wanted to do with the iPod, I mean the iPhone and the MacBook. I mean, he wanted to making art as accessible as possible, which is basically what YouTube has become today. And so this is not like, to end this video off, I'm not talking anymore. I actually don't like talking. I like doing. And this is more of like I really like the idea of following your excitement. I think that it's such an interesting idea, and I actually want to make a short film about following your excitement, but I have yet to figure out how I can tell a good story about it, to kind of make people understand what it is. But I am following my excitement right now, and I'm giving you two examples, and they're actually they are about the same thing, which is about making movies. So I'm actually making my third short film now, and that action is all I need right now. Like, I make my third short film, which is gonna lead me to something else. It might lead me to like not make another short film. It might lead me to make another short film. Who knows? But it's an action, and it's a commitment, and it's taking me somewhere. And once again, we can only connect the dots looking backward. I don't know. Like, I'm really stepping into the unknown. I don't know which path I'm following right now. I have no idea. And I'm not being naive anymore to think that I can see further down. I'm focusing currently on the now. And the now is that I'm making my third short film. I'm taking action and making my third short film. Now, this is something that I wasn't doing before this weekend. Before this weekend, I was sitting here in my office and I was working. And this week, I'm making my short film. Now, who knows? Let's say I make this short film this week. Who knows what I'll be doing the week after this? Like, this is the exciting part about following your curiosity and following your intuition or your gut feeling. You don't know where you're going. And the thing is that Curry Barker never knew when he, like, first of all, before he made Obsession, he never knew that he would end up there. It's just like, and this is the perspective that we forget about. This is the only person who knows this is Curry Barker, and the producer of the film, who's his business partner. They know that before Obsession, they did not know what was going to happen after Milk and Cereal, for example. They just did it. And Milk and Cereal also is a very, very interesting film on YouTube, because a lot of people told him that that is not a good film. And he kind of went against the conventional sayings of the friends or the people around him, like, don't do that film, it's not a good film. He did it, people liked it, and that was probably the biggest reason to why he was able to make Obsession. Now, his journey is kind of just getting started. But the interesting thing, and this is what nobody thinks about, he did not know about Obsession before he made, I don't know exact, I think it was Milk and Cereal who led him to get in contact with a producer who financed the movie Obsession. I'm pretty sure that's the story. And he did not know when he published Milk and Cereal on YouTube that was going to make him get funding for Obsession. And then when he did Obsession, he did not know that it's going to be such a it's going to make probably more than $250 million. He did not know that it was going to be such a huge, like, he did not know. He's basically the Steven Spielberg 2026, because everybody's going to give him opportunities to want to work with him now. Just like Steve Jobs after, no, Steven Spielberg after he made Jaws. So don't forget about that. Don't forget that. And before Curry Barker did Milk and Cereal, before he decided to make a cereal, there was something else he did before, and I don't know his story. I have to research him more. But the idea of, like, he did short film pranks on YouTube, and then that led him to this path of doing these short films on YouTube, which led to Milk and Cereal, and then that led to Obsession. He did not know that, and it's kind of the idea I have right now. Like, I don't know. The only thing I care about is that I am following my excitement right now, and that is making my third short film, which is Presence. Now, who knows where they will take me? Only God. And I'm very excited for where this will end, make me up. But the ending of this video, and it's very, very, very important, is follow your excitement. Excitement. Don't forget about that word. I'm doing the things that I think is very, very fun. Now, if I'm doing something that I don't think is fun, rather I'm doing something for the sake of, like, money or something, then I don't understand the concept of following your excitement.